Handy Hancocks!
Hi guys!
So welcome to another project of ours. Actually, this is a few things that we thought through, in fact 10, before we got started with the painting project.
Yeah, so the first one, number one, would be picking the color. I feel like that is the hardest because you're like, oh no, this color or that color. So one tip that I had heard recently was to find something that you already wear or something already in your house that you like that color. So I actually had a picture frame and I really liked the color, and so we're gonna go with that.
And it was actually like tied into a lot of other things of yours. You had like different pieces of clothing or other pieces of decor that had a similar color. And then the other thing is also keep it inside of your room, that color, and seeing what it looks like at different times of light. Then that you can try is putting a little splotch on the wall too.
We also made sure that it looked well and that it was with the decor look that we were gonna go for.
Something that's funny about that I was just gonna mention was we found a splotch from the previous owner that apparently it was painted pretty much the same color in this room. And then this current color that you probably see in the background right over here was painted over the top of it. And the funny thing is, without any knowledge of that, we were pretty much going to be
painting in the same hue of the color, yeah.
Which is a little crazy.
So the thing is too is that if you like wearing the color, it means that you're comfortable in the color and you most likely won't mind actually seeing it on your walls.
So point number 2 is counting the cost. Nothing is worse than when you go to do the project and you realize, oh, I don't have quite enough funds to get one more gallon of paint or something like that. So just count through, figure out what you need, figure out your cost.
Because paint can be expensive. Point 3 is gathering the supplies. So that would be picking up the paint from the store if you don't already have it, or mixing paint, or getting your paint shook. And it would be paintbrushes, rollers, tape, paint trays, gloves if you like to cover your hands while you paint. If you don't have paint clothes, I typically normally keep a bad set of clothes around that I can just paint in and get all dirty because I'm messy while I paint.
Maybe even like a bandana or a hat if you don't like
if you don't like it in your hair. Especially if you're painting in a small area you want to cover your hair, because I didn't do that the other day and I got paint all in my hair and that was not fun to clean out.
The best part was white paint, so it looked like she was going like gray already.
I was not going gray.
Well, I
was going white.
Yeah.
Sandpaper, if you need to sand any down or patch anything, or there's painter's caulk so you can fill little holes. So just make sure that you actually have all the things, because there's nothing like just getting ready to paint and going, I have to go to the store. 2 is when you're actually getting ready, I would get a bucket of soapy water and something to wipe it up, old rag or paper towel. That always works for me.
Yeah, and you might even have some of these things already, so just like check through it. If you've done any painting projects, you might have one or two. One other thing I thought of too that you might want would be like a razor blade, a flat razor blade. So if you happen to need to clean up any paint splashes that maybe got on a glass or anything like that.
Or tarps too, if you're covering something. Like we can't move the couch out while we're painting in here, so we will just cover over it. And depending on what type of flooring you we probably want to cover over that as well.
So point number 4 is clear the room. Often it helps if you've done some pre-organization to empty out space in another room. That's what she did. She cleared out one of her rooms so we can move like a lot of the seats out and a lot of the light and rug and all that type of stuff out. Because the more things you have out, the easier it will be to paint. And
the less things you'll get paint on. Because I typically like to get paint onto things.
So this is like one of the last things that was left in the couch that we're sitting on. This thing will be, having to stay in here.
So the 5th thing would be to clean the walls. And so what I would recommend is just some soap and a bucket of warm soapy water, an old rag. I'd wipe down all the walls. And then if you still get, like I have a lot of hair, so I get a lot of hair all over things. You can wait till the wall dries, and you can take a dry cloth and you can just dust it down and it'll get all the dust down.
So point number 6 is remove the cover from off the light, off the light switches and plugs. So just take those all off. If you have different color outlets and stuff, don't paint over the top of those. Get new outlets in there. If you paint over the top, that can be a problem over time. So it's better while you're at this process, change your plugs, change your light cover. So just get those at the same time and take off your covers, paint your wall, and good to go on that.
Point number 6, as you're removing everything off your wall, screws, nails, you want to pull all those off. Then what you're going to do is you're going to fill all the holes, because who wants fresh coat of paint and all these little holes? You could use putty or different things for that, or there's a painter's caulk that fills in pretty nice. So you want to fill those and sand them down and get them all ready and prepped to go.
So point number 8 is tape. Now it seems very basic, like, oh, use tape, yeah. But use tape. Tape is your friend. It's better to use more tape than less tape. So just, if you need to tear off little pieces to go around tight corners and stuff, don't leave little gaps. When you have gaps and stuff, it makes your painting look not as nice. Now if you're a professional, you can probably cut in perfectly without tape and stuff, but as doing it as a DIYer or at your own home and stuff, it's easier if you use tape. Use plenty of tape. Tape will save you a lot of work later. It's harder to go through if you have to use stripper or anything to take off the paint, sand off the paint. It's better to use a lot of tape. Do it right, and you'll save yourself time and a lot of headaches.
And then at the end of the project, you get one of those like balls of tape that you get to throw at people. It's lots of fun.
Especially if I can throw it at her.
And it sticks to people. Lots of fun.
Or you can make a bunch and you can have a little tape fight. That's even best. Or that's even better. Point 9, tarp. So tarp your floor. And not just your floor. If there's furniture that you can't move out, so in this case like this sofa we're sitting on right here, we don't really have a good place to put it. We're just gonna tarp over it. And then also when you're putting tarp down, if it's like a slippery tarp, or let's say you're using like a plastic drop cloth, like a cheap drop cloth, which there's nothing wrong with cheap in this case, just tape it down so it doesn't slide. So maybe tape it around the border, and so you just don't accidentally get slide and the paint drop on the floor. So just save yourself a little bit of work, cleanup, and headache.
Especially like, I like to drip paint all over things, so the more I cover, the more I get on the walls.
And depending on how much you drip, you might end up with a piece of modern artwork at the end you might be able to sell. Who knows?
Point number 10.
Her favorite.
Is my favorite, yes it is. Make sure that you have a good playlist of music so that you feel like if it's your favorite, break out the oldies. If you've got CDs, break those out too. Play on your Apple Music or Spotify, find something nice, put some fun music that you feel like dancing to, so that way the job will go a lot faster. All right, well, I think those are all the points we have.
So if you found it helpful, please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can see our future projects. We're hoping to roll out more of those as time goes on. And also smash that thumbs up button that looks kind of like this. That'd be very much appreciated. It'd be a big encouragement to us. So thank you for watching. Check out our other videos as well, and we'll look forward to seeing you on another video.
Bye!